The tranquility of the Alaskan wilderness, with its vast stretches of untouched forests and majestic mountains, paints a picture of serene isolation. Yet, beneath this calm exterior lies a brewing storm that threatens to disrupt the peace. This storm is not one of nature, but of politics and economics. The simmering trade war brewing on its southern border is poised to have significant ramifications for the region. On March 17, 2025, a new toll was imposed on commercial vehicles traversing British Columbia's highways en route to Alaska. This toll, seemingly a minor inconvenience, has far-reaching implications. This seemingly innocuous levy has ignited a firestorm of controversy, straining relations between Canada and the United States. Truck drivers, business owners, and politicians alike have voiced their concerns, each fearing the economic impact this toll could have. The toll has cast a long shadow over the future of North American trade. The busy trade routes that once symbolized cooperation and mutual benefit are now fraught with tension and uncertainty. The tolls, collected at various points along the famed Alaska Highway, represent a bold gambit by the Canadian government, a calculated response to what it perceives as unfair trade practices by its southern neighbor. This move is seen as a strategic effort to level the playing field. The Canadian government argues that the toll is necessary to counteract the economic policies of the United States, which they claim have disadvantaged Canadian businesses for years. This levy is their way of pushing back, of asserting their economic sovereignty. This essay delves into the heart of this escalating trade war, examining the motivations behind Canada's decision. We will explore the historical context, the economic theories, and the political maneuvers that have led to this point. We will also look at the reverberations felt on both sides of the border, from the Canadian truck drivers who now face higher costs, to the American businesses that rely on the smooth flow of goods. The impact is widespread and profound. The toll has sparked debates in boardrooms and government offices, with stakeholders on both sides scrambling to adapt to the new reality. The future of this vital trade route hangs in the balance, with potential repercussions for the broader North American economy. As we navigate this complex issue, we must consider the broader implications for international trade and diplomacy. The uncertain future of this vital trade route serves as a reminder of the delicate balance that underpins global commerce. The new tolls, ranging from $50 to $200 per vehicle depending on size and weight, target commercial trucks transporting goods to and from Alaska. While passenger vehicles remain exempt for now, the financial burden on trucking companies is substantial, adding a significant expense to an already costly journey. The implementation of these tolls has sent shockwaves through the business community, particularly in Alaska, where businesses heavily rely on the smooth flow of goods across the border. The increased transportation costs are expected to ripple through the Alaskan economy, potentially impacting consumer prices and the cost of living. To understand the genesis of this trade dispute, we must rewind to the tumultuous years of the Trump administration. In 2017, the United States imposed tariffs on Canadian lumber, alleging unfair subsidies to Canadian producers. These tariffs, widely viewed as protectionist measures designed to shield American industries from foreign competition, sparked outrage in Canada and triggered a series of retaliatory tariffs on American goods, including dairy products, ketchup, and bourbon. The recent tolls on the Alaska Highway are the latest salvo in this ongoing trade war. Canada argues that these tolls are a justified response to the economic harm inflicted by American tariffs on Canadian exports. By imposing tolls on a route crucial to American trade and Alaskan supply chains, Canada aims to exert pressure on the United States to reconsider its protectionist policies. The tolls, Canadian officials maintain, are not intended to be permanent but rather a bargaining chip in the ongoing trade negotiations. Section 5. Trump's fury-stunning move ignites political firestorm. Predictably, the implementation of tolls on the Alaska Highway was met with swift condemnation from former President Donald Trump. In a fiery statement, Trump decried Canada's actions as a stunning move and a betrayal of the long-standing friendship between the two countries. Trump's rhetoric, while not unexpected, inflamed an already tense situation. His comments resonated with his base, who view the tolls as an affront to American sovereignty and a sign of Canada's untrustworthiness. Section 6. Economic tremors, the cost of contention. The economic ramifications of the tolls are already being felt on both sides of the border. In Alaska, businesses are grappling with increased transportation costs, which threaten to erode profit margins and potentially lead to higher prices for consumers. In British Columbia, the tolls have generated much-needed revenue for the provincial government. However, the long-term economic impact remains uncertain, as the tolls could deter tourism and discourage American investment in the region. Section 7. Public outcry. A divided continent speaks. The tolls have ignited a firestorm of controversy, dividing public opinion on both sides of the border. In Canada, public support for the tolls is mixed, with some applauding the government's tough stance against American protectionism, while others worry about the potential damage to the long-standing relationship between the two countries. In the United States, particularly in Alaska, there is widespread anger and frustration over the tolls. Many Alaskans view the tolls as an attack on their way of life and an attempt to isolate them from the rest of the country. Section 8. Diplomatic deadlock. The road to resolution. Despite the economic and political fallout, there are no easy solutions to this impasse. The border tolls have created a significant bottleneck, affecting not just the flow of goods but also the daily lives of commuters and businesses on both sides. The economic ramifications are vast, with industries ranging from automotive to agriculture feeling the pinch. The political landscape is equally fraught, with both nations digging in their heels. The Biden administration has condemned the tolls and called for their immediate removal, citing the undue burden they place on American businesses and consumers. In a recent press conference, President Biden emphasized the need for open and fair trade practices, urging Canada to reconsider its stance. But the Canadian government has remained defiant, standing firm on their decision. Canadian officials argue that the tolls are a necessary measure to counteract what they perceive as unfair trade practices by the United States. They claim that these tolls are a form of economic self-defense, designed to level the playing field, insisting that the tolls will remain in place until the United States addresses its unfair trade practices. This standoff has led to a series of heated negotiations, with both sides presenting their cases but finding little common ground. The toll booths have become a symbol of the larger trade war, representing the broader economic and political tensions between the two nations. The standoff has raised concerns about the future of the North American Free Trade Agreement, commonly known as NAFTA. This agreement has been a cornerstone of economic cooperation between the United States, Canada, and Mexico for decades. It has facilitated trillions of dollars in trade, creating jobs and boosting economies across the continent, which has been credited with facilitating trillions of dollars in trade between the three countries. However, the current dispute over the Alaska highway tolls threatens to unravel this delicate balance. The imposition of tolls has disrupted supply chains, leading to delays and increased costs for businesses that rely on cross-border trade. The dispute over the Alaska highway tolls highlights the fragility of international trade agreements. It serves as a stark reminder that these agreements, while beneficial, are not immune to political pressures and economic shifts. The ease with which they can be disrupted by political tensions underscores the need for robust diplomatic channels and conflict resolution mechanisms, and the ease with which they can be disrupted by political tensions. As diplomats from both nations continue to engage in discussions, the hope is that a resolution can be found that satisfies both parties. Until then, the road to resolution remains fraught with challenges, requiring patience, diplomacy, and a willingness to compromise. Section 9. Conclusion. The uncertain future of North American trade. As the trade war simmers, the future of the Alaska Highway remains uncertain. This vital artery, which has long served as a crucial link between the United States and Canada, now stands at a crossroads. The highway, stretching over 1,390 miles, has been a symbol of cooperation and mutual benefit for decades. However, recent tensions have cast a shadow over its future. The tolls have created a physical and metaphorical barrier between Canada and the United States, making it more challenging for goods and services to flow freely across the border. These tolls, introduced as a response to escalating trade disputes, have not only increased the cost of transportation, but also strained the relationship between these neighboring countries. Casting a long shadow over the future of trade and cooperation between these two long-standing allies, the tolls have become a symbol of the broader economic and political challenges facing North America. The once seamless border now represents a point of contention, highlighting the fragility of international agreements and the ease with which they can be disrupted. The outcome of this dispute will have far-reaching consequences, not only for Canada and the United States, but also for the global trading system. The Alaska Highway is more than just a road, it is a lifeline for communities and businesses that depend on the smooth flow of trade. Any disruption can have a ripple effect, impacting economies far beyond North America's borders. The stakes are high, and the world is watching closely. The resolution of this trade dispute will set a precedent for how future conflicts are managed. It will also signal to other nations the importance of maintaining open and cooperative trade relationships. The global trading system relies on stability and predictability, and any prolonged conflict could undermine these principles. The world is watching closely, as the fate of the Alaska Highway serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the global economy. News outlets around the globe are covering the developments, and people everywhere are keenly aware of the potential implications. The highway has become a focal point in the broader narrative of international trade and diplomacy, as the fate of the Alaska Highway serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the global economy. It also underscores the importance of resolving trade disputes through diplomacy and cooperation. The highway's future is not just a matter of regional concern, it is a global issue that requires thoughtful and strategic solutions. The importance of resolving trade disputes through diplomacy and cooperation cannot be overstated. As diplomats from both nations work tirelessly to find common ground, the world watches with bated breath. The resolution of this conflict will not only restore the flow of trade, but also reaffirm the strength of international partnerships. The Alaska Highway, once a symbol of unity, has the potential to become a beacon of hope for a more collaborative future.